You can tell that Akihiko is better than Narukami because Narukami has to wink at people to communicate to them without speaking. Akihiko can just like flex his pecs and then people understand like an entire novel's worth of information. When we return to the real world, all the energy that had been powering me so far drains away and I begin staggering. Everyone else appears to be in a similar state and we immediately go our separate ways without much discussion. I went straight home and fell into bed, but I couldn't get to sleep. All these feelings are swirling around inside me and I can't sort them out. Sheesh. As I toss and turn in bed, my cell phone rings without warning. I look at it, but it's a number I don't recognize. I should ignore it. But it does bother me that I'm getting a call right now. I decide to pick up. Lo and behold, the voice I hear is... The call said to meet at a certain location the next morning. When I arrived, I saw an amazing limousine parked on the plain country road. It's just, this thing is so long, it's insane. Even if this were a movie, it would have to be a comedy. Nobody would believe that a car this long and sleek would exist in real life. Can it even turn a corner? It's hard to see through the windows of this ridiculous limo, but I can see 4 people who are just as remarkable as the car itself. Labrys had called me last night, and the people in the car were Mitsuru-san's group. Thank goodness she did wake up after all.
Labrys!
When I call out to her, Labrys immediately gets out of the car. Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san, and Aiga-san follow as well. Oh, and she's not carrying that axe on her back. I imagine it would be hard to get into a car with that thing. Oh, you don't say.
I'm sorry for calling you here all of a sudden, but they told me we'd be leaving already.
The follow-up is over, after all. The work here is done.
I'm glad to hear that, Master.
Master?
Actually, I spoke a bit with Akihiko-san on the phone last night, too. When I thanked him for helping us persuade Mitsuru-san, all he said was it wasn't anything special, I only did what was necessary. Man, what an awesome thing to say. During that little chat, I became convinced that that's all, folks. I became convinced that what this person is striving for is very similar to my own goals. You're also trying to get a lifetime supply of protein? That's why I'm going to call him Master. I'll look up to him as an ideal until I can match his strength and resolve.
I told you to stop calling me that.
No, you're my master. Though, I gotta admit, part of me has just always wanted to say macho things like that.
But you're not a man.
A true man isn't bound by his sex.
Ah, I see. My apologies.
Poor Mitsuru is just like, that doesn't make any sense. And then Akihiko replies with something that also makes no sense. And he's like, or Mitsuru's just like, oh, well, if you say so.
Your leap of logic is so extreme it could reach the moon.
Labrys giggles at seeing our banter. I can't help but smile as well. He sounds embarrassed, but maybe a little happy too. Still.
You're going with them too, Labrys?
To be honest, I wanted to be with her more. But if I said such things, it would just trouble Labrys, so I swallow those words. Labrys speaks to me as such things are going through my mind.
Yeah. I decided I'm gonna work with Mitsuru-san and then I'm gonna find whoever it was that set you all up and catch him myself. I won't let any danger come to you guys. So, this is just a short farewell.
Labrys.
Nothing is ever short in Persona games, except the dancing games. Those were pretty short. I felt like someone gripped my heart. Labrys has been through so much worse than we have. All the problems she's had to face, yet she's gonna fight for us. Whoever this culprit is, they can't be allowed to get away with doing this to her. Labrys has such a... Oh my goodness, in my throat, sorry. Labrys has such a kind heart. For them to treat her like some object is just unforgivable. My happiness for Labrys, my anger at the scum who had controlled her, and my frustration at not being able to help, I feel tears in my eyes. I look down, not wanting her to see me cry, but a large hand slaps me on the back.
Your passion had a real effect on Labrys. You should be more proud.
Master!
Oh my goodness.
A true man is only allowed to cry when he loses his wallet.
What?
Yes, Master!
That's a rather shallow occasion for tears. Did something happen to you during your trip?
Akihiko lost his wallet in South America or something and broke down crying.
It's true that the mental scars one would face if one lost one's wallet in an unknown land halfway across the globe would be immeasurable.
Ah, there they are. Hey!
Oh, I love Akihiko, man. Our friends have gathered around us. Of course, I had told everyone about the phone call I'd gotten from Labrys.
Could have stayed a little longer, you know?
Seriously, we got a whole week off and we didn't get to hang out at all.
It's truly a shame. Well, until next time.
Naoto literally hitting him with the "oh no, anyway" meme. Saraza, welcome to stream.
Until we meet again.
Labrys is smiling, surrounded by all of us. My passion had a real effect on Labrys, that's what Master said, but I don't think it's entirely true. Labrys changed because of her own will. She seriously wished that she was understood. That's why her wish came true. I think that's all there is to it.
We should get going.
At Mitsuru-san's signal, the limousine's engine turns on. It's time for them to leave. Labrys' face clouds over. Sheesh, looks like I gotta say something.
No, a true man wouldn't cry.
I make a bright smile. Labrys also smiles, then enters the limo. Quick! Yosuke, steal Chie's wallet so she has an excuse to cry. As the car takes off, Labrys sticks her head out the window and yells loudly.
Hey, Chie! I'm really glad that I met you, Chie!
Again, I might be a little biased just because, again, I'm not a huge fan of Chie as a character. I do feel like Labrys' connection to Chie is, like, the most shallow. I think Kanji's connection to Labrys also came in last minute, but I feel like they did it better because they really went hard on Kanji, like, struggling with what to say to Labrys at the end and keeping it short and sweet. Like, Kanji didn't interact with Labrys, like, a ton, but, like, just enough. But I don't know, it feels like with Chie's story here, they're trying to be like, oh, Chie had, like, the same connection that, like, Teddy and Yukiko had at the end of their stories. But it just doesn't feel like the build-up for Chie being close to Labrys was there like it was with Yukiko or Teddy's story. Oh, it's no use. I'm the one who told her not to cry. Labrys is smiling just like I told her. Looks like I won't be a true man today.
I'll see you.
After seeing them off, we held the long postponed reunion party for Yukon. We were all feeling a little down after having to say farewell to Labrys, but that immediately picked our spirits back up. We were so happy that everyone was able to get together like this, we thought that it was impossible, and there was one more happy surprise. Also, this doesn't mean that we won't be able to see Labrys again. I stretch out and look up at the sky. Yep, Golden Week starts for us today. Later that night.
Dear Akihiko-san, that doesn't feel right.
Is that Kermit the Frog back there? I crumple up yet another piece of paper and throw it into the trash can. I just can't figure out how to start this letter. I'm not really good at writing letters.
Maybe it's too formal.
You call him master. All those how to write professional business letters articles I looked up online really aren't very helpful. I take a deep breath and...
To my master. Ooh, much better.
I relax and my pen follows the wishes of my heart. I don't have the best penmanship, but I think it's a lot nicer to get a handwritten letter than an email.
How have you and Labrys been? I've been well. I've been doing my best while remembering what you said to me on that day. Do you remember? You told me that I would be able to do the right thing. That made me want to become a police officer even more. So, in order to catch the culprit, me and the investigation team are... Oh, crap! Phew! That was close. I'm supposed to keep that a secret from him.
Still a stupid decision. We're gonna find the one who had been using Labrys. In other words, the investigation team is back in action. That was the big surprise that had come out at Yukun's party. Yukun himself was the one who suggested it, so we were all surprised. Ha, seriously. He'd said, let's leave this to them, right in front of Mitsuru-san and the others. Yeah, literally just lied. But it looks like Yukun had other plans in mind right from the start. Trying to go behind the back of the people with more experience that also have personas. Man, if he could be such a convincing actor, I can't go spilling the beans in a letter. But to lie to Master? No, I have to lie to him. That's always a great way to think about it. I can't let him find out no matter what. I crumple up the piece of paper again and throw it away.
I guess this really isn't my thing. I'll give it another try tomorrow.
Yo, punch? I will be able to do the right thing. I'm gonna believe in those words and do my best to live up to them. I really want him to know that. Next to the letter is a police academy entrance exam guide. I bought this a long time ago, but haven't even touched it. I've got to face that someday, too. When I look at the clock, I realize that it's already past midnight.
So sleepy. Oh. Since Since Yukon's with us again, we've gotta give what we decided on our best shot. Investigating on our own, huh?
I stand up from my chair and stretch out, then fall into my bed. It's so fluffy, I can't stop myself from immediately drifting off into sleep.
I'll do my best to...
My future, what I want to protect, an enemy we must fight. There's so much that I need to think about. I'm not good at thinking, and there's probably going to be a lot of things that don't go as we plan. But I just need to concentrate on one thing at a time. Even if something doesn't go well, I shouldn't let it get to me. Yes, because I have friends, I know I can go on.
Along with my friends.
Really weird decision to have the episode end with her, like, falling asleep, but okay. Her clear is also yellow for some reason. I don't understand the purpose in the yellow clears as opposed to the red ones, but whatever. Chad said that it shouldn't matter. It's my favorite Persona spin-off since it has Labrys and my other favorite character, but they're stuck in the non-canon arena dimension, probably to never return. I don't know, Atlus seems like the kind of company to, if they want to go back to something and reuse something like characters like Labrys and all, then they would just do it. Doesn't really seem... I don't know, Persona doesn't come off to me as the kind of like, oh, we'll never touch this again for as long as we live kind of deal, you know what I mean? Anyways, what episode do we want to do next? I think we should do Aigis and Narukami last because they are the wild cards. So probably Aigis second to last, Narukami last. Or, well, last that isn't this one because this one isn't available. So, Naoto, Mitsuru, Yosuke, and Akihiko. We just did Chie. Let's do one of the dudes. Let's do Akihiko. Let's just go straight to her master then. Chie did have an option of doing her joke ending. Oh, so these aren't red because there's like one little bit of dialogue that like I didn't choose, so it's the game's way of saying like, hey, you technically didn't see all the dialogue even though you only missed like 4 paragraphs or something like that. Is that what you're telling me? So then my follow-up question is, if I get to that bit of dialogue and go through it until I hit like a bookmark section, and then if I hit that bookmark, does that mean that I can then... Do I have to complete the entire episode all over again, or do I just have to get to that text that I missed to get it to be read? If I just have to get to the text that I missed, then, I mean, I can do that really easily because you can hyperspeed through this stuff pretty quick if you've already gone through it once. But if it's like, hey, you gotta play the entire episode again, that wouldn't take very long. It would probably take like 20 minutes or less with skipping all the dialogue because the fights are really fast. But also, like, this playthrough is already so long, I don't want to spend 20 minutes seeing Kanji say, like, 3 more sentences that I didn't see before just to make this be read. Let's do Akihiko.
Why did it have to be now? Who the hell are you?
We've come to take you in. Would it clear things up if I mentioned the name Kirijo?
Oh, this is gonna go very similarly to Chie's for a little bit, it looks like. One Labrys looks at me and yells in rage, but the other one recoils in horror.
No! I'll never go back there!
Crap, she ran off!
Damn it, get back here!
The other one dashes after the first one. I immediately try to pursue them, but...
Hey, wait a second! Who are you?
The remaining girl in the green warm-up jacket stops me. If I recall correctly, she was the female student introduced as a carnivore in that
I
commercial.
need to go after them. You're better off forgetting what you just saw.
Wait! You can't just...
She appears to be uninjured, and I can't lose time dealing with her. I ignore her and book it after Labrys.
Hold it right there, Buster!
Don't call me Buster. I don't remember for Chie, but I know that the kanji one changed the ending and it ends earlier. Oh, so there's like actually significant... Oh, I'm gonna have to, like, go look at what options I chose in the first run-through to make sure that if we do go back and do that, I don't get the wrong ones. But if kanji has, like, a different ending, even if it's only minor, like, I kind of want to see that, especially if it's kanji. That voice, she caught up to me, though I'm running at a full sprint. Huh, she must be quite an exceptional athlete. But I can't drag her into this. This is my duty. Should I run even harder? That might cause me to redline my heart rate. Redline your heart rate? And that would deaden my legs for any upcoming fights. Or should I just convince her to leave? Unfortunately, it seems that both of those options have been taken off the table now. I wrap my fist where there is nothingness. Zemnis is near. Resistance, another invisible wall. Looks like this is the enemy's way of buying time. Sure enough, the female student catches up to me. She confronts me as she tries to regain her breath.
You're gonna tell me what's going on.
So she wants an explanation. There's no harm in telling her what's going on since her friends are already caught up in this mess, but there's no need for them to learn the details about it. If they just return to the real world, they can get out while keeping relatively normal lives. They have personas, Akihiko. This is the stupidest thought you've ever had. There's nothing normal about their lives. Ever.
What good would that do you?
What?
I'm here on a certain mission. You could even call it a duty. My resolution is nothing like yours, based on curiosity.
A duty?
I hit the invisible wall.
Ridiculous Grand Prix is still going on.
Yes, it is. Ralik, welcome to stream. Chaos, found you off your Digimon and KH playthroughs. Understandable, that happens. Love the passion for the games you have, man. Aw, dude, thanks. Thanks for watching. Glad you enjoy it. Glad to have you to stream.
What? Wait, you mean...
The girl hurriedly reaches around at the space behind her. As I expected, her hand hits an invisible wall as well. That wall didn't exist when I first passed through that area.
We're trapped. So, like, do we...
That's what you get for coming after me so recklessly. The rule that one opponent must be defeated is still in effect.
Also, I know you hate it, but I want a remake of Digimon World 2. My goodness, if they waste their time remaking that awful game, I'll be so upset. Oh my goodness. She may be a girl and a student, but I don't intend to go easy on anyone as long as I have a mission to complete. I unleash the aura that instantly silenced so-called tough guys all around the world. What? Akihiko has consumed so much protein he can create a protein Super Saiyan aura? What can't this man do? He even fights bears. Crimson, welcome to stream. How's it going? I was hoping that she would quietly back down before I had to go this far. But even though my aura dampened the girl's resolve a bit, she didn't even take a step back. What is this aura nonsense that they're suddenly bringing up? What? Did I miss something?
All right, I accept.
Huh. Why are you willing to go to such lengths to catch up to Labrys?
By the way, for the record, I regret going straight from Chie's story to Akihiko's. They are insanely similar.
I don't know why. I just know that she was in pain. I don't know if my reasons are better or worse than yours, but I can't turn my back on her.
It's not like all of the stories are like have a bit of sameness to them because they all follow the same general gist for the most part. Some of them have some wild differences, but they all have the same basic framework. But these two are like carbon pasted about. At least at this point they are. The foolish words of a child! But there's a fire in her eyes that makes up for her lack of reason. I gotta say, I prefer that far more than wasting time with needless chatter. She's definitely piqued my interest a bit.
All right. To answer your question, what you saw was the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys. She was given a heart so she could use a persona.
A weapon? Then she really is a robot. But she's so cute. And she even sounds like a normal girl.
She has a perplexed look on her face. Even though she's already seen those mechanical arms and legs, it must be hard to believe that a robot could be that lifelike.
So that's what her lost memories were about. And since she has a heart, she has a shadow too.
She has a shadow? Do you mean the thing where there's 2 of her?
The girl does her best to explain the structure of the TV world to me. The world inside the TV apparently mirrors the feelings of those who enter it, and its appearance changes accordingly. She tells me that this fake school was most likely created for Miss President's, Labrys' psyche. She also explains that the repressed inner thoughts within oneself separate inside the TV world to become a shadow, and that those shadows try to kill their originators and replace them.
Get it now. The mastermind behind all this isn't Labrys, but her shadow.
How did you find Cyber Sleuth to be not so grindy? Cyber Sleuth isn't a grindy game. Are you playing on hard? I mean, even if you're playing on hard, that game doesn't have much grinding. I couldn't finish it because I had to get Platinum Sukumon to level up my Digimon. Way too grindy for me, and I lost interest. I must have played a different game from you. Are you playing on hard? Like, hard is the only way I could see that being an issue. In which case, my answer is just to play on normal, I guess. But, like, that game isn't grindy. Just, do the build command when you get the farm stuff. Like, do the 1,000 yen build command. Maybe you'll get some Tactician USBs. That gives you more experience, but, like, I mean, if you're having trouble, if you're losing fights and you think you need to grind because you're losing fights, odds are is you're probably just, make sure you have some Digimon with some penetrating moves, and make sure that you have a spread of, like, data, virus, etc. Like, that's all I really know to tell you. You shouldn't have to be grinding in either Cyber Sleuth game. Or maybe if you're just, like, bum rushing main story stuff, if you're not doing, like, the other cases, like the optional cases, do the optional cases. Like, at least on hard mode, the game's difficulty is ramped around, first of all, penetration moves, and second of all, making sure that you do, like, all of the content instead of just trying to go through the main missions.
I think that's it anyway. But I wonder what's with this tournament. What could she have wished for to make this happen?
I have some suspicions about that. Labrys may have been forced to do some inhumane things while she was in development. Her original circumstances may be related to the setup of this Grand Prix.
The girl goes pale upon hearing my words. Such a tale would be unimaginable for those living ordinary lives.
Then, this tournament is a reenactment of what Labrys went through in her past?
Even Mitsuru doesn't know that for sure. If there's anyone who can claim to, it would be Labrys herself.
That's all I can tell you. If you still want to search for her, you'll have to defeat me to move on. What'll it be?
The girl holds her tongue for a moment, but it isn't because of fear or hesitation. I can tell from the look in her eyes, she's made up her mind.
If Labrys wished to make us go through what she went through, that means she wanted to be understood. She wanted someone to save her.
That's just your guess, though.
But if it's possible I'm right, then I can't abandon her. That's why I won't go back until I've saved her. Her heart is worth fighting for.
Save, huh? Her eyes tell me that she completely believes what she's saying.
What's your name? Mine's Akihiko Sanada.
I'm Chie Satonaka, a third year at Yasagami High.
Ask for your name, not your life story.
I like the fire in your eyes. Then let's fight and see whose passion comes out on top.